MSI has been making content creation laptops for a while now, but unfortunately those workstation series laptops are not meant for everyone for its higher price tag and hardware. So what we have here is the MSI P75 Creator, which was announced last year with a series of RTX Studio laptops. Well, not that this one here comes with an RTX graphics card, but this one has a GTX 1660 Ti right inside. But that's not the interesting part. This is a 17-inch model that has a rather interesting price point. Even though MSI is still selling this at 7,499 ringgit, some retailers out there are already selling as low as 6,200 ringgit, which makes it a really enticing choice if you are a content creator that needs such kind of screen asset while you're working on your content on the go. So I have been using this laptop for about a week already, and here are my thoughts about it in this review. If you find this laptop really familiar, then I won't blame you for that, because this is actually built based on the MSI GS75 Slim laptop. It looks very similar, apart from the fact that this has a more toned down chassis that doesn't make it look like a gaming laptop at all. This is a silver color chassis that has a little purplish tint to it, just like how ASUS has done to its ROG Zephyrus laptop, which is actually quite nice though. It's not entirely silver, but once it exposes with light, it turns into kind of like a purple shade and so on. It's kind of really nice right there. So like I said, this is actually a toned down version of the MSI GS75 laptop. So you are lacking a couple of gamer-centric features, such as no RGB keyboard. This is a standard white color backlight keyboard, which I believe some creators would really like that, because RGB makes it a little too distracting when you're doing with your work, but you can turn it off anyway if you don't want the backlighting. But I really like this keyboard that comes with a white color lighting. And last but not least, MSI doesn't include a high refresh rate display on the P75 Creator. Now, speaking of the display, MSI says that it is professionally factory calibrated to the most accurate colors, and it even claims that it has close to 99% of sRGB color space, which I can kind of testify that, because I've been working on this laptop on some of my content and also working on some videos, and the colors are kind of accurate right there. It doesn't oversaturate like some other laptops that I've seen. It has great contrast as well. But the one thing that leaves more to be desired is the brightness, because this display panel only maxes out at 300 nits. So if you were to work outdoors under direct sunlight, this display is not going to cut it. The P75 is one of the lightest 17-inch high-performance laptops out there that weighs at 2.25 kilograms. It is very comfortable to transport around in my bags, and it doesn't weigh down, and it is definitely way more lighter than any other gaming laptops I've tested out there, and that's a great thing. But the one thing that I do not like is the power brick that it comes with. Now, I'm not sure if my review unit comes with this 230-watt power brick, because this is some really heavy-ass power brick that will weigh down your back. Because on MSI spec sheet, they say that they will provide a 180-watt power brick when you buy the P75 Creator 9 SD. This is the GTX 1660 Ti model, which doesn't require that much of power to charge it up. So yeah, this is probably just a review unit. So it actually comes with this really big 230-watt power brick, which is really heavy. Port selection on the P75 Creator is great. There's 3 standard size USB 3.2 Gen 2 ports, 2 USB-C 3.2 ports with one of them supporting Thunderbolt 3, a RJ45, HDMI 2.0 that supports 4K at 60Hz, and a micro SD card slot. Accessing the P75 Creator's internals is actually pretty straightforward by removing all the screws at the bottom. So once you do that, you can pop up the case by just lifting out over here. It will come out. Of course, I've done it earlier, so it comes off just like this. Pretty simple and straightforward. Alright, so one thing that MSI has improved over previous GS and P series laptops is that it gives you direct access to its storage without flipping the entire motherboard over. So you got 3 storage bays here. So the first one, this one is a Samsung PM981 SSD that runs at PCIe Gen 3 X4 speeds, and it has over 3000 megabytes per second of read and write speed, which is really incredible. I really like this. And this is the second storage bay, and this is the third one. Now, I assume that this one is the combo slot, which you can actually insert either a PCIe NVMe or PCIe SATA SSD right here. Now, unfortunately, RAM, you still need to flip over the motherboard because this is actually a pretty slim chassis. So obviously, you can't find anywhere to insert any RAM slots over here. Otherwise, the casing would have to be slightly thicker. So there are no RAM slots over here. You just need to take apart the entire motherboard, remove all these ribbon cables, and flip to the other side. That's how you get to access to the RAM. Now, for your information, this thing will support up to 64 gigabytes of RAM with two 32 gigs SODIMM slots. So that's actually kind of pretty common for laptops like this. Now, speaking of cooling, this is MSI's Cooler Boost Trinity Cooling. So there's two fans that cool down the CPU, and there's another one fan that cools down the GPU. Now, it actually makes sense for MSI to do this because the GTX 1660 Ti Max-Q isn't a really hot GPU, so it merely requires a single fan to cool it down. Vents are out from the side and the back. Same goes to the CPU as well. The CPU is obviously rather hot. This is a Intel Core i7-9750H, so it requires two cooling fans to get it cooled down well. So yep, this is the internals of the P75 Creator. Now back to the review. I'm a huge fan of MSI's GS series laptops, and this brings back some great memories of my old GS73, but also some of the drawbacks. The keyboard, for instance, is something that I wished MSI could have made it different on a Creator laptop. They are nice to type on with a great tactile feedback, but doesn't feel great for longer hours as they are cramped with the numpad area, which I don't think creators will use it very often. The trackpad is wide and has a fingerprint reader on the top left, which the GS75 doesn't have. While its tracking performance is great for casual scrolling on web pages, it isn't great for drag and selection. Therefore, most folks who use the P75 Creator are going to connect an external mouse and keyboard for the best experience. The thing that MSI's Creator laptop differentiates from its gaming series is the MSI Creator software, which lets you prioritize CPU affinity on select content creation programs to achieve the best performance. This is extremely useful for creators who work on multiple content creation apps at the same time. The P75 Creator is fortunately a very silent machine when it runs on battery. Even when I stressed it with many programs and browser tabs open, the fans will only spin at a low speed, which is less annoying in a quiet environment. Performance-wise, I detect no thermal throttles when it comes to creative work and gaming. I was able to scrub 4K footage shot on my Sony a6500 on Premiere Pro at full resolution, and I was able to play most AAA game titles with high graphics setting above 60 frames per second, although this laptop runs on a GTX 1660 Ti Max-Q GPU. Thermals are decent, and the Cooler Boost Trinity cooling system works hard to bring down CPU and GPU temperatures below 90 degrees Celsius during gameplay. The working area can, however, get really warm to rest your palm comfortably, so either you get used to it or just connect external peripherals. One thing the P75 Creator impressed the most is battery life. MSI claims up to 8 hours of usage in a single charge, and I managed to get pretty close to it at 6 hours. That is of course with lightweight to moderate usage such as doing web browsing and emails. If you're using this for editing videos on the go, expect it to drop to 2.5 hours, which I believe is sufficient for most creators. The MSI P75 Creator is a great content creation workhorse. It has that performance that you will need to create your next great YouTube video and high-resolution vector graphics on the go. But this is still not a laptop for everyone because personally I would prefer a 15-inch laptop for on-the-go content creation. And last but not least, as I mentioned in the review, this workspace really isn't meant for everyone, but instead I would really just prefer something like this, like the GS75, which I'm sure it is the same as you see on the P65 Creator laptop. This is the keyboard layout that I really like, and this touchpad is actually pretty decent already. So yep, this is not meant for everyone, but if you really require that screen estate on the go, like I know some content creators really do, like if they use any cafes as their mobile workstation, they definitely need this screen estate for the entire creative workflow. So that's pretty much on my review of the MSI P75 Creator. Let me know what questions you have in the comments down below. If you like this video, do give us a thumbs up and share this video to your friends and family who are interested in getting MSI's Creator series laptops. That's pretty much from me. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next round.